Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. You know, it's funny. I always get shit about, oh, well, you always talk about AEW, Devontae. Why can't you just leave AEW alone? My feelings are hurt, Devontae. I'm over emotional, and I'm feeling offended. My dick feels like it's caught inside of a locksmith, and I can't get it out. My balls hurt. Can you do it to my ass next time so I can be butt hurt, Devontae? Why do you keep going? Yada, yada, yada. We get it. Okay, shut the fuck up, all right? I understand. This is just your way of, obfuscating from the issue. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We get it. You're an AEW fanboy. You won't say that you're an AEW fanboy. You play the middle ground and you try to pretend that you're not an AEW fanboy just so you can make arguments that you can't pretty much make if you were to admit you were an AEW. We see it all the fucking time, okay? We get the fucking grift. But last night, I talked about AEW, and it was one of the rare occasions because I praised the shit out of them. Because I thought last night, in my opinion, was an excellent show. Very rarely do I admit things like that, but I try to be as non-biased as I could possibly be. And if it's a good show, then I'm going to call it like I see it, no matter what happens at the expense of who matters. I don't care. The truth is the truth, right? But with AEW fanboys, we can never get that courtesy right back, right? It can never just be returned right back. And that's why I say personally, the whole tribalism stuff, I'm okay with it nowadays. I can't stress this enough. I'm absolutely okay with being a tribalist. Now, I'm not going to be a tribalist to the degree where I'm not going to call out WWE or AEW. Well, I guess that defeats the purpose of being a tribalist, right? You get what I'm trying to fucking say though, right? Like, I'm gonna defend WWE any chance I fucking get. Because you can't let people like this just walk all over you, man. Just on principle, just on wax alone, bro. These dudes walk around and they talk so much shit. I seen something from Wrestling News that says something on the lines of, it was on Twitter, even the AEW haters have to admit that the last night's show was good. Okay, I admitted that was good, but what's with the whole rubbing in the face? I could also lie. You want me to lie just so you don't get it? I won't give you the W. I'll lie, and then I'll tell you that AEW is absolute dog shit. Want me to do that? Honestly, this is right here. This is what I'm talking about with Tony Khan and this AEW faithful, bruh. Y'all can never get a W in your column because you run people away, bro. Like, if you want to make this a competition thing, like I said, I can go full on tribalist, be absolutely biased, and I won't give any W, and I'll nitpick every fucking segment you put out there. Now, I'm trying my best to be the middleman. I'm trying my best to just put my finger and my fingers through my beard and then rub it, and then like I peculiarly look at your television show and I say, oh, that's good, I like that. Oh, okay, that's good. I want to do that, but when you just go out of your way and then you shit talk everybody because we finally got a legitimate W, then all of a fucking sudden, man, come on, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. But then it goes even further, bruh. Like, they start talking shit about NXT. So tell me why NXT, I think their viewership number this week was around 542,000. I think it was that number exactly, or something along the lines of that. I seen like maybe 3 or 4 people, right, who were saying things like, oh, well, why won't you guys talk about this, huh? When it was AEW who had 502,000 viewers, you guys were all over the place talking shit about them. But when it's NXT with 542,000, then yada. Okay, so then Dave Meltzer went out of his way to actually tell the truth for a goddamn change. And he brought up the fact that it's a holiday weekend, right? And what do you think the first thing they said is? The most fucking predictable thing possible. They go out of the way to say things like, oh, but when it's AEW and they're having to go through Juneteenth, that's not a legitimate holiday. But when it's the 4th of July, oh man, then that means nothing. Bro, you guys are jokes. You see what I mean now, man? This is the kind of fucking things that we have to deal with as professional wrestling fans, and then you wonder why the business is in the shape that it's in right now in regards to the tribalism. It's because you have dumb fucks who make remarks like what you just heard right now, what I just said right now. What do you mean Juneteenth? First off, no one recognizes that bullshit holiday as a legitimate holiday. I don't give a fuck if I'm black. I don't care about that blackity black shit. I said it once and I'll say it again. Juneteenth to me is just another motherfucking day, alright? I don't care at all. Just because it was the emancipation of like one of the last states in the Union. I think it was in the Confederacy. One of the last states in the Confederacy to drop slavery. I don't care. I'm grateful for it. I'm pretty sure, like, what, would I still be in slavery right now? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. It's not a legitimate holiday to me, bro. I really don't care. But what I do know and what I do care about is the fact that the 4th of July is a legitimate holiday. We barbecue, we do shit, you know. I look at Juneteenth no different than I look at fucking Kwanzaa, bro. I don't give a fuck about that shit, man. That's lame. There's nothing traditional about it. I mean, it literally came out of fucking 2010, 2020 era. Make this a holiday or you're a racist type of shit. I don't care. I mean, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be a holiday, but what I'm saying is I don't celebrate it. I don't give a fuck about it. I don't even celebrate the 4th of July, to be perfectly honest with you. And this is coming from a former military vet. I don't give a fuck at all. It's just another day. But what I will tell you is that it is legitimately the 4th of July, a way bigger deal as a holiday compared to Juneteenth. Does this need to be explained? Let me help you out here for a second, AEW fanboys. Juneteenth is a newly established holiday that was for the most part forced upon people to celebrate, right? Because of the riots and because of the blackity black and because of the if you do not do this, you're racist. That's what that was built upon. Off of clarification, the things that I do believe necessarily should be a holiday, but I just don't give a shit about. Whereas the 4th of July is about, you know, America's birthday. You know, you really can't celebrate Juneteenth without celebrating the 4th of July, because without the 4th of July being America, then there wouldn't be anywhere to celebrate Juneteenth. That's the whole thing as far as, you know, defining what the fuck is going on here. That's just common sense. But we play stupid on purpose because, you know, it's convenient for us to use as an excuse, right? But that's your history lesson for the day as to why, you know, one is celebrated more than the other, and why you can probably speculate as to numbers dropping versus one and numbers not dropping versus the other. You need any more proof? Wait till later on tonight. I want you to get right next to your window, bring your cat with you, and I want you to do all this without wearing any gloves. And hold on to your cat super duper tight, all right? Right next to your window. In fact, go outside and hold your cat right next to you. Shirtless please, no gloves on, and just stand there for a couple of minutes, maybe a couple of hours. Be brave. Oh, you won't do that? Why? Because there's actual celebration with fireworks going on? You know, something that doesn't happen on Juneteenth? I'm just using obvious things to point out the fucking obvious. But my point being is, no, yes, AEW went down because they sucked last week or 2 weeks ago. NXT, they went down because 9 times out of 10 it has something to do with the 4th of July weekend. You know, because it's the 4th of fucking July. But this kind of brings up a different point, an undercurrent point, right? A point that needs to be touched on more now than ever before. AEW fans, you need to get off of your elitist mindset. Now that the AEW product seems like it's going in a different direction, where they might actually be telling legitimate stories, where hopefully they can kind of get rid of that aesthetic of constantly having to rely on stupid shit like New Japan Pro Wrestlers or Mexican wrestlers, and have now come to the conclusion that if you want to get any of that shit, just go to the fucking country, or better yet, pull out your cell phone and you could be an elitist all to yourself with your right hand. Yes, we now recognize that, and look, it looks like AEW, hopefully, we got to see how next week is going to turn out, and maybe the next couple of weeks going forward, hopefully they're now starting to realize that. Hopefully they're now starting to realize they should rely on their talent that is already there, that's going to connect with the audience. Hopefully they're now understanding that the quality of whatever wrestler they have at the moment is only going to be exposed based off of the booking of what you put upon said wrestler, right? Like I said, we have to wait a few more weeks to see where that's going to go, but I think more change should come along with that. It's not just the wrestlers who are now coming into their own. Everybody's pissed off, everybody is angry, everybody has an edge to themselves, no pun intended, not the real edge. Everybody has a story for the most part that's at least relevant. Again, you got some good things going, but there are other things that you have to get under control. That being your fan base. I don't know what you have to do as far as having to get rid of the elitist people, because I think as time goes on, see, here's my theory. I think as time goes on with the AEW product, if they continue doing what they're doing like they did last night, and it's going to be less emphasis put on wrestling and more emphasis put on character and story, and you save the wrestling for the pay-per-view shows, where the stories on the actual regular shows episodically make you have a reason to want to watch the pay-per-view to see the legitimate matches, and then once in a blue moon you give us like a really good match, and on every show you give us a quality match for the most part, 1 or 2, like you did last night for an example. Again, last night was exactly how I want AEW to be going forward. Now, my thing is, with how that show is structured, it will be very similar fundamentally to how WWE is structured, more particularly in the past, or if you want to come in the present, you could say NXT, right? It looks like that's the direction they're going into in order to expose some more of their talent. Because like I said, how they built up last night, how they got people to want to get clinched up on and want to watch the main event when they focused on Daniel Garcia in the beginning with MJF and, you know, Matt Menard and all that shit to get you hyped up to want to see the main event, right? That's perfect. That's exactly how it's supposed to be built up. But my thing is, though, with how that's going right now, will that alienate the AEW fan base as we see it today? See, that's where you're going to really put it to the test as to see whether or not they like AEW for the company in themselves, or do they like AEW because it happens to be a strict opposition to WWE, which I would find fucking hilarious, because now it looks like they're going to follow the WWE model, right? It looks like they're going to copy the WWE model, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because I think the WWE model is the absolute way to go. But my thing is, does this now run away the rest of your fucking fans? Which I will be absolutely okay with. I think one of the biggest detriments, and I will continue to hit on this point every fucking time, is the AEW fan base. They're horrible. I can't stress this enough. Most of the fanboys that I see on Twitter, like, what's that guy's name? AIR or Air, whatever his fucking name is, the what's his name, Drain Bramage or some shit like that. I've seen multiple of them, but those two guys in particular, they're the fucking worst. When I say they're some of the worst fucking fans ever, they're just horrible. They're just fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Yes, you got some WWE fanboys out there, like the Tribal Chief guy we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. You know, there are some people out there like the AEW Neckbeard account. But from my understanding, especially looking at their accounts, I think they're a rebuttal to the AEW fanboy accounts, right? Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but looking at the dates of when the accounts were created, it feels like at the very least that these accounts, maybe they got suspended and I'm not aware of it. But just looking on the outside in, it looks like that these accounts were actually created as an explicit response to the AEW fanboy accounts. And my thing is, why would you put... So, you've now got AEW in the good graces, right? Tony Khan should stay his dumb ass off of Twitter. He should get his wrestlers to fucking come in the middle. Kumbaya, my lord. Hug, all this other shit. Get everything squared away. And if you don't want to get it squared away, then you can start packing your shit today. My thing is, all this shit is now starting to come together little by little. Again, one more time reiterating this, we got to see next week to see where we're going to go from here. Yet you have these people over here still ruining your image and ruining how people are going to perceive your television show. Because it's not just from the aesthetic of watching these morons go after people for not giving them a match that they like a 2-star rather than a fucking 3-star, or a 3-star rather than a 4-star, or a 4-star rather than a 5-star, or any of these nonsensical talking points that makes them feel like they're the most elitist, greatest fan base in the whole entire fucking world. But it's also because of where you're actually shifting the product towards. Are they going to want to stick around? Because now you're no longer going with the whole match at the match formula anymore. It looks like now that with you starting to be more storytelling fundamental, more of a storytelling fundamentalist, easy for me to say, and you're starting to kind of go more or less, like I said, into the WWE direction. Well, let's do the math here. You guys, AEW fanboys, hate WWE, right? Okay, check. AEW is going into an WWE route as far as being able to tell their stories and go throughout the next couple of weeks. So, if you hate WWE and they want to be WWE and you are still here and they're still there and you guys are looking at each other, I mean, what's the logical conclusion that happens here? Do you stand by your guns, right? Do you actually rest on your laurels? Do you actually live by your principles? Or in the case of 3-6 Mafia, do you live by your rep? Huh? Do you actually go out of your way to no longer watch AEW because they are legitimately now copying off of WWE as far as their fundamental structure in regards to building up their show or booking throughout the entire show? Or do you sit there and you know, because no matter how you look at this, it's going to be bad regardless. Either A, you leave because, well, I mean, you're a little bitch. And like I said, all you care about is just the wrestling after wrestling after wrestling after wrestling. Even though I will say at the very least you're sticking to your convictions, and I will say that it has nothing to do with AEW or WWE. And all you truly do care about is the actual wrestling, which, again, let me kind of guide you a little bit to YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's some 2-hour compilation, or let's just say 10 minutes to 2-hour compilation of Bruce Lee doing flips and kicks and dives all over the fucking place. I think that will suit you a lot more better than watching professional wrestling. Or dare I say, may I actually introduce you to some ballerina dancing, or maybe some gymnastics, right? But let's put guys aside there so you can be a little bit more fucking comfortable, right? With your sexuality, you don't mind, do you? But it's that one little side right there. Then you have the other side who will legitimately stay with AEW even though they talk so much shit about WWE, yet AEW is doing the WWE fundamental in regards to building out their show, making you guys humongous fucking hypocrites and double standards. Like I said, it comes right back to the point of you guys not having love for AEW, but a lot of hate for WWE, and why should anyone take you seriously? Now granted, it's not as if anyone was taking you seriously beforehand, because again, you're AEW fans, but at the same time, for anyone who does take you seriously, for the shred of people who are actually there still taking you seriously, for the munchkins, dweebs, weed heads, and heroin addicts who are still there for some reason messing it up and laughing with you guys amongst each other in the comment section on Twitter, how about you guys and you assholes and everybody who gave birth to you motherfuckers go jump off a cliff and, you know, don't wear a parachute, and maybe you guys can give us the gratification, the satisfaction, the gratification, if you will, of actually enjoying professional wrestling for what it happens to be, and maybe encouraging a wrestling company to go in the right direction so therefore they can make more money, and then we can have a healthy wrestling industry while wrestlers are getting paid millions upon millions of dollars, at the very least 5 figures, 6 figures, and actually making a living like you guys care for it so much, like you say, right? Or is that not really the case? Like I said, I go through Twitter and I go through social media and I see all this, yay, yippee, yippee-ki-yay, jump up in the air, slide dapping, there we go, AEW haters, admit that you're wrong, yeah. You know, we can be wrong about the show and still be right about you guys. Because now I feel like I should go take back that entire video. Maybe I should just take down that entire video and just remake an entire video saying why AEW fucking sucks. You want me to do that? I mean, you say you don't care, but I think you do care. Because, you know, for those who say who don't care, you know, you'll be the ones in the comment section telling me you don't care. You're the ones who take time out of your busy schedule to tell me you don't care. So, I don't know, call me crazy, but either you really, really, really fucking care, or, you know, maybe there's some strings off your back, and I don't know how the fuck did I get these strings on my hand right here. Just let them breathe. AEW fans, do better. Just take the W. Your company put on an actual compelling, excellent show last night. Why risk all that? Why ruin all that? It's like, you know, you guys are taking the lead from Tony Khan for real. But I think Tony Khan right now legitimately wants to win. I think Tony Khan right now is tired of taking L after L inside his ratings and his viewership numbers. I think he's tired of competing with a developmental company. I think he's tired of falling from the million range that he used to be around about 2 years ago to now getting nearly half of that number. I think he wants to win. I think he wants a W. And I think you guys are cop blocking him from that W, because the more and more you keep up this lame ass attitude, the more and more it turns people off from the product. And maybe you care about that. Maybe you want to be the elitist. Maybe you want to be the hipster of professional wrestling, where everything in regards to professional wrestling and AEW has to be secretive and only you guys can have your secret club and like whatever the fuck is going on in the show. But I can tell you right now that Tony Khan, I don't think he has the same sentiments. I don't think he has the same attitude. At least not anymore, because there's a bunch of money on the line, Playboy. And I think you guys need to understand, if you knew how the business legitimately worked, that once they go out of business, then you have no show to talk about. Then you come back to WWE and you pretend nothing fucking happened. Let's not do any of that. Let's be humble. Let's just recognize that it was a great show last night, and let's not rub it in anyone's faces. Because I can tell you this much, you rub it in my face any more longer than you're rubbing it in my face right now, God forbid they get that TV contract. Whoo boy, because that's just more years for me to rant and rave about how fucking shitty your company is. And God knows I can nitpick like the best of them. And boy, oh boy, I got some cotton. I need to get up and I gotta pick something. I gotta nitpick the shit out of your ear. So shut the fuck up. Enjoy the W that you have right now. And try to worry about what the fuck your company is gonna do next week. Because even though you got a victory this week, it does not at all confirm whether or not you're gonna have a victory next year or next week. Even next year also too, but in particular next week. So focus on that. And focus on Saturday also. Let's see what Collision does next week, or this upcoming week, when the Royal Rumble fucking dishes out some goddamn destruction on some imperpatic, some made up word proportions. Stupid bastards. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you didn't recognize, obviously the ratings, they are not out today. They will be out tomorrow because it's the 4th of July. I'm pretty sure that happens to be the reason. We will talk about the ratings tomorrow. Depending if it's anything newsworthy, I might even put it in the SmackDown intro. I'm still kind of contemplating whether or not I want to do that. We'll wait on that tomorrow. But as always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, and a peace. Oh shit, I got a burp. Yeah! Nice.